Hello and welcome to the Python programming classes again. In this video, we are going to continue in the topic of Python functions. We'll be knowing some more things about the functions. So in the last video, we have done the how to declare a function in Python, how to call the function, how to define the parameters in the function, and how to pass the arguments in the function. Now, in this video, we are going to cover the arbitrary arguments. So we use the asterisk symbol to define arbitrary arguments. Now there are many situations when we are not aware of that how many arguments we are going to pass into the function at the time of function calling. So by using this arbitrary arguments, we can pass a tuple of arguments and the items can be accessed accordingly. So let's see the examples. Let's say I'm going to write I have done the function part. Define, let's say, function 4, and inside the function, if I'm not aware of that what would be my parameters, means parameters I know, but what would be the arguments that are coming for that parameters. Number of arguments are not sure, so I'll put a strict sign, and let's say name is the parameter which I'm requiring, and I just want to print the statement like I like, and I want to concatenate it with the name. But again, here I'm not sure about that how many arguments are going to come whenever I'm going to call this function. So I'll be writing name, and then inside the name I want the first name, the like index 1 name. Okay, so while calling the function 4, because we have taken the arbitrary arguments, that means expecting more number of arguments. So let's say Soumya, then Sarah, then let's say Amit. Okay, we came up with, and what I prefer is that giving the arguments, I should my functions should utilize one of the arguments according to the define, right? So what we have defined, I like Sarah. Okay, we haven't added, let's make a bit nice code over here, that we haven't added a space in between. Let's look a pretty simple thing. So remember the situation. Normally we give a parameter name, we pass the argument value. If you do not give, as I have already discussed in my earlier classes, if you do not give the same number of arguments as defined in the parameters, it will produce an error. Now if it is not sure that what will be my argument, a number of arguments, then we define at arbitrary arguments. Now there is another way of passing the parameters, which is on the basis of key. So the argument will come with the key value. So let's say if I define certain names, rather than writing over here this arbitrary argument, if I define the in the name 1, name 2, name 3, then I can just provide the things. As you can see here, I have used name and index value, and the name has been selected. What if in the passing the argument in the function, what if the order of names shuffle? Then my choice will be different accordingly. So now using the keyword argument. Now in keyword arguments, we write in short form KW. KW stands for keyword, and ARGS. And keyword arguments, let's say define a function number 5, and in the function what I'm expecting as the parameters of the function is name 1, name 2, then name 3, okay, 3, then name 4. So I'm expecting 4 names from the users, and suppose I want to have a print statement like the same one I was using. I like then concatenation of things, and what I prefer is that any name which I want to choose, right, it should reflect. So if I write over here that I want name 3, okay, now while passing the it's fun, while passing the value of arguments, if I shuffle the values like name 2 is equal to Sarah, comma, name 1 is equal to Soumya, and name 3 is equal to Amit, and my name 4 is equal to Num. Now remember, I have shuffled the order. Name 2 is written over here and we are expecting name 3, which is over here. Okay, let's change a bit thing, name 2 over here, so that you'll be having a clear distinction that now my name 2 is not on the second position in case of when I'm passing the argument value, right? So what I'm expecting is it should print I like Sarah again. The point is, in the case of when we have arbitrary arguments, you need to maintain the order. So if I change the order to let's say here I make Amit and here I make Sarah, because I'm accessing to the index of the arguments, so what will happen, my choice will change according to the argument passing order. Now in case of keyword arguments, because we are accessing from key value, so even if we shuffle the order of arguments, because the key value, because the choice will be taken according to the key value wherever it is present. Now another category in which we are talking about arbitrary keyword arguments. Arbitrary keyword arguments are exactly similar to what we have learned earlier for the arbitrary arguments. When we are not sure about that, how many argument values will be passed for a given parameters, so we put a asterisk sign on the parameters in the function definition. So here what we will be doing for keyword arguments, we will be putting 2 asterisk sign before the parameter name in the function, and this way the function will receive a dictionary of arguments and can access the item accordingly. Okay, let's try to write it with the, let's say, define function 6, and inside the function 6, because we are talking about the keyword arguments, so we will be putting double asterisk names, okay, and inside the names what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print let's say again the same statement, I'm looking for I like, and then concatenate it with a nice phrase of space. And now earlier what I was doing in case of keyword argument, I was passing one of the key. Now I'm not sure that which key I want to print here. So what I will be doing here is, we can pass here the value in the print statement that I want the names, and inside the names I want to access with the keys, let's say name 4. Okay, whatever be my name 4, that should be the. Now this is not let's say this is not going to say that I will be having only this number of keys in my argument which I'm going to pass with my function. So let's call the function 6, and while calling the function, what I have to do, I have to pass a dictionary kind of thing, that what will be the name and what will be the, let's say name is equal, name 1 is equal to 4 and then what we have done. Now please understand the difference clearly, that this time we have received a dictionary kind of thing in which one name is there and a name 4 is there, and in the print statement also the names are accessing inside the dictionary one element, right? So we are not clearly writing that name 4 that I'll be liking. Inside the name, if I change the index value, if I change the key value, if I make it name 3, then it will be name 3 or name 2 likewise. While in previous case what I was doing, I was defining 4 values in the function. So if I omit any one of them, then this will produce an error. Let's do this exercise to show you, to make you understand more where we have done. In case of keyword arguments, right? Let's take the example. See. And let's remove this name 4 from here and try to execute it. This clearly shows an error because we are missing a positional argument. But here in the case, because we have defined it as a arbitrary keyword argument, that means we are not just compelling it to be how many numbers of arguments should be passed for the dictionary, right? We are only looking for the values. Now what if I look for a value that doesn't exist? Who's calling it? Now what if I simply let's type the same things. What if I simply call a key which is actually not present? So the error comes only when we do not find the key which we are looking for. But it is not restricting the number of arguments in the function when you are passing. Okay. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Please subscribe the channel for the updated videos.